What clan?
What clan?
Okay.
Gilgil.
How are you? Yes. You're well? Oh, fine, thank you.
I'm doing fine.
Kenya, great, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Yes. How is Somalia? Are you okay?
Assalamu alaikum.
So if I give you corona, then
Uganda was so big.
yes. You people.
Yes, the first time. Yes.
I have to step in beside me. Hello. Ethiopia.
I know him. We were together yesterday.
Okay. I call the meeting to order. His Excellency Sheikh Hassan, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, His Excellency Mzee Hassan Gule, President of Djibouti, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of Burundi, His Excellency William Ruto, President of Kenya, the Deputy Prime Minister of Ethiopia, the OAU Commissioner, the United Nations people, the IGAD, the partners. We have had a long meeting and we have had very good discussions, and we are not going to make long speeches here. I thank their excellencies for coming, responding to the invitation, which I had agreed on with the President of Federal Republic of Somalia for the troop contributing countries. We had a long discussion, and I don't think it is necessary to make speeches because people need to, some of the presidents want to travel, but we agreed on a communique. It is therefore the communique that will summarize what we said. Now, the communique has got important points, as you will hear, but maybe let's hear the communique instead of trying to summarize it. Read by the one who will read it. Okay.
Your Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi, Your Excellency, Ismail Omar Gule, President of the Republic of Djibouti, Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, His Excellency, Mr. Demeke Mekonnen, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of the Republic, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Her Excellency Aisa Kachira, United Nations Support Office in Somalia, His Excellency Ambassador Bakola Doye, African Union Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed El Amain Souf, Special Representative of the Chairperson of the African Union Commission for Somalia and Head of the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, Ms. Lucy Dax-Bacha, Intergovernmental Authority Head of Mission in Uganda. Your Excellencies, if it pleases you, let me now read your communique. And it reads as follows. Communique of the Summit of the Troop Contributing Countries to the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia and the Federal Republic of Somalia, 27th April 2023, State House, Entebbe. At the invitation of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, the Summit of Heads of State and Government of Troop Contributing Countries to the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia and the Federal Republic of Somalia was held on the 27th of April 2023 under the chairmanship of His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The summit was attended by His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi and Chairman of the East African Community, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, and His Excellency Demeke Mekonnen, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. The summit was also attended by His Excellency Bankola Dehoye, African Union Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, His Excellency Mohammed El Amin Souf, Special Representative of the Chairperson of the African Union Commission for Somalia and Head of the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, Her Excellency Aisa Kirabo Kachira, Assistant Secretary General and Head of the United Nations Support Office in Somalia, Her Excellency Lucy Dax-Bacha, Head of the Intergovernmental Authority and Development Mission in Uganda, and noted that participation of the representatives from the development partners that included the United States of America, the United Kingdom, and the European Union delegations in Uganda during the ministerial meeting. The summit was convened to evaluate the achievements made in implementation of the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia mandate and the overall security situation in Somalia. The summit deliberated on the procedures of the drawdown through Communique 1068 adopted by the African Union Peace and Security Council on the 8th of March 2022. It also followed the adoption of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2628 and 2627 of 2022, as well as the communique PSC/P PR/com.1143 of 2023 of the African Union Peace and Security Council of the 7th of March 2023. The major component of the ATMIS mandate is to implement the Somali Transition Plan, detailing the handover of security responsibilities to the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia to the federal government of Somalia by December 2024. The summit was preceded by the ministerial meeting and the senior officials meeting from 24th to 26th of April 2023 at Serena Conference Center in Kampala, where a report was adopted and presented to the heads of state and government. The summit underscored the importance of respecting the sovereignty, territorial integrity, political independence, and unity of Somalia. The summit reaffirmed its commitment to continue to assist in the spirit of Pan-Africanism the federal government of Somalia in its stabilization efforts, and the region shall not abandon Somalia and will explore alternative means to guarantee security of Somalia. The summit commended the troop contributing countries for the immense sacrifice in the fight against terrorism and pacifying Somalia, and paid tribute to the gallant soldiers that lost their lives and those who were injured in the fight against terrorism. The summit commended the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia for successful implementation of its mandate, including supporting smooth political transitions, saving lives, and supporting stabilization efforts in Somalia. The summit welcomed the initiative by the federal government of Somalia to take full ownership and leadership of Somalia's stabilization strategy, which marks a renewed momentum by the government to restore state authority and provide basic goods and services in liberated areas. The summit welcomed the cooperation between the federal government of Somalia and the federal member states, marked by the holding of meetings in the framework of the National Consultative Council to discuss state-building processes. The summit underlined the operational success against Al-Shabaab and increasing Somali security forces' capacity to lead security operations, recognized the efforts of the federal government of Somalia in force generation, regeneration, and integration as a major component to take over security responsibilities from African Union Transition Mission in Somalia by December 2024. The summit further called for the increased logistical support to the smallest security forces and extend the scope to reflect the realities on the ground. The summit recalled the relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions to adopt a strategic, gradual, and sector-by-sector approach to the drawdown and review assessment of security and performance of the African Transition Mission in Somalia. The summit reiterated the importance of force protection and survivability, including the provision of force multipliers and enablers, especially aviation support. The summit called for an early joint assessment and planning for drawdown process of the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia. The summit agreed on the procedures for the drawdown of the 2,000 ATMIS troops in accordance with the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2670 of 2022, and underlined the need for the joint assessment of the drawdown of the 3,000 ATMIS troops, and urged for a quick commencement of preparations and joint assessment bearing the security situation in mind. The summit appreciated the support of the United Nations Security Council in the stabilization efforts in Somalia and called on the Security Council to consider lifting the arms embargo on Somalia to enable the country to shoulder the security responsibilities. The summit commended the efforts of the Somali security forces along with the local community forces in the successful offensive operations against Al-Shabaab and called for the continued mobilization for local community forces in the fight against Al-Shabaab. The summit welcomed the adoption of the National Security Architecture by the National Consultative Council, which will be a cornerstone to the implementation of the security sector development by federal government of Somalia. The summit stressed the urgent need to implement the Somali Transition Plan and the Joint African Union/Federal Government of Somalia Concept of Operations, CONOPS. The summit expressed concern over the inadequate, unsustainable, and unpredictable financing of ATMIS and called upon the African Union and partners to provide adequate, predictable, flexible, and sustainable funding to enable ATMIS effectively and efficiently execute its mandate. The summit stressed the need for the African Union Commission to consider utilizing the African Union Peace Fund to support the enhancement of the long-term security capabilities for the Federal Republic of Somalia. The summit welcomed the role of the partners to support the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia and urged the African Union Commission, in coordination with the partners, to mobilize resources for the ATMIS drawdown process and to support the federal government of Somalia on security and stabilization efforts. The summit mandated His Excellency Ismail Gulay, President of the Republic of Djibouti, and His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, to engage the development partners on behalf of troop contributing countries. The summit mandated His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, and the Chairperson of the African Union Commission to communicate to the United Nations Security Council the decisions and recommendations of this summit. The summit commended His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for convening this summit and expressed appreciation for the excellent facilities extended by the government of the Republic of Uganda to all delegations, done at Entebbe on the 27th of April 2023.
Thank you. The communique had been agreed. Therefore, I ask His Excellency Sheikh Hassan to give us concluding remarks, because this is about Somalia. It's not about other places.
Your Excellency, President Museveni, I appreciate and I am very much grateful on behalf of my other head of states. Also, I would like to thank you, the people and the government of Uganda, for hosting this great summit, which has a very fruitful discussion and communique. Somalia is indebted and will remain grateful for the contribution and the sacrifices made by the troop contributing countries for the last 16 years, for almost now 16 years. We know this was based on a very big principle for us as Africans, African problems with African solutions, and this was the solution for Somalia. Somalia is yet to finish the task as a post-conflict and a country, but with your support, with your sustained support for the last 1.5 decades, Somalia is standing around and now decided to take the full responsibility of its security. But still, we've requested and still we're requesting your continued support until the end, when Somalia stood itself, which we all are definitely sure and committed to see and realize. That is the only way we can show our gratefulness for your contribution. Your interest was to see Somalia standing its own feet by itself. And Your Excellencies, this is coming soon, inshallah. We also are very much grateful for the big brother of African Union for giving the mandate and looking after all this as the African Union mission. And I am sure that this will be an African Union mission which ended successfully. And that's what we are struggling and striving to achieve. The Somali people will remain all the time in their history grateful to you, to your people, and the African Union as well. On behalf of the Somali people and Somali government, I would like to say you thank you again, and there we will move with the commitment that you showed us today for the remaining period of the mission. I'm more hopeful than I was when I came here in Kampala and Entebbe, and we will make sure that the trust and the confidence that you give on us as the government and the people of Somalia under my leadership will be materialized soon, inshallah. I thank you, Excellencies. Thank you very much.
Yes. I thank His Excellency. In our discussion, we reminded ourselves of some of the similar problems we have solved in Africa here. Like when we solved the problem of Idi Amin working with Tanzania. Africa can solve these problems once we agree on the concept. Because that time, it was Tanzania and us, nobody, a little bit Zambia, a little bit Mozambique, and we solved the problem of Idi Amin. The problem of Burundi, it was solved by East Africa. So this problem, the way we discussed today, I'm sure we can solve it. We don't have to say much. I don't know whether the Excellency wants to say something. Excellency. Okay. Thank you. So with these few words, the conference is, the summit is closed.
Your Excellency, if you may please, I wanted to request that we present to you your communique for your endorsement.